Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Always, and welcome back to Stoneblock 3. In the last episode, we made that monstrosity, the washing machine, I guess that's what's called now. So we have a encased fan from Create sending a water stream, washing whatever we put into it, mainly sand and dust, so that we can get other things. And we used the sand to get clay, which we then used to make some botany pots, which I went ahead and made another one. And it looks like I finally got an apple, so I can put that in there. Cool. So, yeah, we've got botany pots for kelp, because dried kelp is useful with Create, making these mechanical belts, and for your basic trees. A horse spawned, by the way, while I was working on stuff. So I went ahead and made some more drawers. I cleaned up this room a little bit, made it a little bit bigger. This is where we're going to have our storage. It's going to take some time to get much, but yeah, we have some work to do. And today's episode is going to be a lot of Create again, because we need to get access to a couple new things before we can do too much more. So I had a loot bee spawn, and I actually completed a quest because I got some batteries from Power, and these are not terrible to make. It's mostly just iron, clay, coal, but does require blaze powder or lava. So that is a little bit of an issue, I guess. I also got an uncommon loot crate, so let's go ahead and open that. Silicon, cool. But yeah, our inventory is a mess. We need to do something about that. And I want to start working towards a couple of things. Now, a few things, I did do a little bit of research on Create, and this thing is awesome. However, we can upgrade the water wheel fairly easily as well. Just with some planks to make a big water wheel. It doesn't provide any more speed, I don't believe, but it does allow for more stress, which I don't know how much stress we have on the system. We need to make some glasses for that, some goggles. So we're going to do that today as well. So we're just going to be doing a lot of various things, all so that we can start working towards, if we go to getting started, the crushing wheels. The crushing wheels are going to allow us to basically make a lot more stuff. If we crush gravel, we can get a bunch of things, and some of them are things we're going to need to make other things later on. So, you know, trying to get into mechanism, I think we're going to need osmium. Let's look, osmium, and to get osmium, we have to crush. That is the only way. So osmium, probably bauxite. I haven't seen that lately. So there's a lot of things that we need to do with the crushing wheel, just to get more resources, and so that is going to be important. Now, the problem is, getting to the crushing wheels is going to take some time, and it's going to take a lot of stuff, so we're probably not going to get to that today's episode. But I want to start working on getting some of the base a little bit better off, getting storage set up. So let's go ahead and start with that, I guess. So compacting drawers, there is a quest for that, which, by the way, we have the power quest for making a battery. Just getting that randomly from the bee is going to give us an ender tank. Okay, that's not something we really care about right now, but not terrible. Let's grab a bunch of our resources. If I can click correctly. I have problems clicking sometimes, and I wonder if my mouse is getting on its last legs, but I hope not. I like this mouse. So we are going to want some redstone. We're going to want plenty of redstone today because we're going to need it later, which is why I processed a bunch of dust to get a lot of redstone. The horse can stay for now. I'll probably end up murdering him later, but I want to make a compacting drawer. We're going to want to make a lot of these later, but for now, let's just go ahead and make one. And the reason for a compacting drawer, I actually wanted to make two of that, is just so that we can, I need one of these guys. Let's just steal one from here. So the compacting drawer is kind of useful. And what it does, it's one, going to complete a quest. We'll get a magnet. That's kind of nice. So a compacting drawer is pretty useful. The question is, how do we want to use it first? And I think the answer to that, we're going to put this in here. And we're going to put zinc in here. So if we put zinc there, you can see we have zinc ingots, zinc nuggets, and we can put some more nuggets in there. So basically, compacting drawer allows for immediate transfer between recipes that have like 3x3 or even 2x2 recipes. And I don't know where the bee is, so I'm not going to worry about it. It's down far enough that I'm not going to try to go get it. But so we could put, you know, zinc in one. If we make one later, we can put cobblestone and get up to compressed to double compressed. We can do a lot of things. Carrots can be compacted. And see, with a carrot, it only goes to a carrot crate, because that's what it can make. So create a carrot is 3x3 of carrots, 9 carrots, and it transfers back and forth. So that is super useful for anytime you're going to get like iron nuggets or something. If you need iron blocks a lot, cobblestone, dirt, sand, gravel, dust are all good. Although I don't think dust can be compressed. No, dust cannot be compressed. So it's useful for a lot of different things, and we're going to want a handful of those. I want to look in this chest because I don't remember. Do we get... Yeah, so we're getting iron nuggets from probably... What are we getting the iron nuggets from? I looked at the usage, not the... so we're getting iron nuggets from washing gravel. And that looks to be about it. So there's a lot of uses for that kind of stuff. And when we start getting into chickens, we're going to want to have compacting drawers for that stuff too. So very useful thing, very useful item. We're going to want a lot of those. I'm going to leave... I'm not going to leave the recipe there. I can make more later. I know how to make these. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to make these goggles. So this other stuff that we have for functional storage that is going to be useful is a storage controller. It used to be called drawer controller, and when it was drawers. And that is kind of like the brains. We can have that in a central location and connect all of the drawers that we're going to have together using the linking tool, which is not terrible to make. It does require a diamond. And with that, we can insert things or extract things from the controller to get all of our items. And then we can also get the configuration tool, which requires an emerald, not too bad. This allows us to lock the drawers and change different settings. It's pretty useful. We will make those later once we have. Problem is, we don't have quartz. So we need to get quartz. And quartz is kind of the challenge for today. So, I want to make the engineer's goggles, and I want to make the wrench before we do too much more. Do we have any more cogwheels in here? We're going to use this stick because why not? So we're going to take a cogwheel, and we need 3 gold there and 1 gold there with a piece of string. So we're going to need a little bit more gold, and we're going to need some glass. So the glass, it can be any color. That is perfect. So let's just get some of these guys cooking up. So I went ahead and made a bunch of zinc because zinc is super useful when it comes to create, because create uses a lot of zinc. Now let's go ahead and get a bunch of gold cooking up. Eventually we can make systems that will process our ores a little bit better, and I think we might actually do that. So mechanism has a mechanic of... So it looks like it just wants us to get plutonium, or polonium, not plutonium, from mechanism. That seems to be the only thing important. But what we'll probably also do is go ahead and get 5 times ore duplication, I guess, processing. And that is super useful. Obviously, we take 1 piece of ore and we get 5 times as much, which is always good. So let's make a bunch of these golden sheets. And we'll go ahead and get the wrench and the engineer's goggles. So these go on our head. And now I believe if we go up to things, we can see the stress. So how much stress is on the system, all that kind of stuff. And with the wrench, we can do configuration things. I don't know what all... I guess we can break items. I really get tired of doing that. But we can do a lot of cool things, and it all works out pretty nicely. So, let's see. Should go like there. Okay. By the way, I figured out what was causing my frame rate issue, and the monster that was doing it was light overlay. So light overlay, if it's not actively like, if there's no darkness, you can't really tell that it's on unless you hit F3, and right above the Britannia stuff in the lower left, it says light overlay disabled. That was enabled and I didn't know it, and it was causing a lot of lag. So that was an issue. Alright, so we have 2 quests that we can now turn in. So we got the wrench. Wrench can configure things, and goggles will show information. Ooh, we got a diamond paxel. That's actually really nice. We're going to keep that for now. Just kind of keep it safe. I don't really care about the magnet right now. We're not really doing anything that requires a magnet. But yeah, so what we need to do, if we want to make the crushing wheels, we're going to need a lot of andesite alloy. Luckily, it does make 2, which is what you need. However, everything else here is pretty straightforward. Some straight up just stone, andesite alloy, and planks. However, it requires a mechanical crafter. Mechanical crafters require a crafting table for every 3, which is kind of ridiculous. Brass casings, so we're going to need to get brass. That is... that might be a little bit more... So we could make an alloy kiln. This... Okay, no, we can't. Unless... kiln bricks. Okay, so we can. It just requires sand and bricks of some sort. We can get ash bricks. That's kind of cool. So we could do that to get the brass that we need for the casings. Otherwise, we'd have to get into a blaze burner, and that is not going to be fun. Or we need to get into tinkers and smelting up stuff, which we can do now. We can actually make the melter and start working towards a smeltery. So that's another option if we don't want to make the alloy kiln. But that's not actually a terrible thing. So the mechanical crafters also require electron tubes. Electron tubes are iron sheets and polished rose quartz, which requires sandpaper, which is very easy, and rose quartz, which is quartz. So in order to get quartz, we need to wash soul sand. This is a process. And to get soul sand, we need to mix our mob souls with some sand and some water. So we're going to need a mechanical mixer and a basin. So that's what we're going to work towards today. The mechanical mixer requires an andesite casing, easy enough, a cogwheel. I think we can do both of those right off the bat. Let's just get this guy placed down. And then we're going to need a whisk, which is andesite alloy and iron sheets. Now, it might not be a bad idea, if I go to the right thing, to start looking into making a press. But how bad is that? It requires, actually not too bad. So that might not be a bad idea, because we are going to need a lot of iron sheets. But let's go ahead and make the mixer first. So we're going to need 5 iron sheets. And I think it was like so. And then a cogwheel and a casing. So there is the mechanical mixer. And then we're also going to need the basin, which is just andesite alloy. That is at least nice and easy. And then we got to hook this up. So we're going to put this, I think we can do this right here. And if we put this right there, it does not work. Okay, so we're going to need another cogwheel. And this should be easy enough to set up. So let's just do that. Mixer. And it's really nice we can see which way they are turning now. So I think all we have to do is fill this up with water, grab 4 sand and 4 mob souls. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And toss those in. And not enough speed. Okay. So speed is important for all this stuff. We're going to lose our water. Oh well. So I think what I need to do is I need to start working on some other stuff. I need to get more... I need to have more systems so that we can have things going faster and whatnot. But, yeah, create takes a lot of space. That is something I'm learning very quickly. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. But it does mean... in stone, cool. It does mean that I might have to dig out a lot more area and whatnot. So, what we're going to do, we're going to make a large water wheel because I want to see how big this is. And it is literally just a shaft and a bunch of wood. And we'll make a large water wheel. So, how big is this guy? Oh boy, that is big. Okay. So, not a problem. I'm just going to have to, you know, make a lot more space. So, because we are going to need the brass, do we have... I'm trying to remember, this requires 27 kiln bricks to make a kiln. Is there anything... Immersive engineering... 8. Oh no, it's 8, right. It's a 2 by 2 by 2. So, do we have enough sandstone? Will be easy enough to get. We need, how much? 8 bricks? I think we can manage that. So let's go ahead and make an alloy kiln so that we can get a little bit more stuff together. But once we get the alloy kiln, We can make brass. Brass is just... we can't make brass. Can we? Hold up. So, for the mechanical crafters, we need brass casings. Brass comes from zinc. Okay, yeah, okay. I thought it was tin for a second. I don't think we have access to tin. But I can just go ahead and make some of these kiln blocks. And it's not going to take too long to get them all. But what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to set up... I'm going to have to get some more speed. And we could use something like that. But, you know, let's just experiment for a second. That is going to slow things down. So we need... Hey, it's another bee. So let's see, how can I... Nope, that is not how I want it. There we go. Okay. So I think if we had small cogwheel... I wish I knew the trick, because I don't. So we're going to want... I can never remember how to make these. Just planks. Alright, let's get large cogwheel and 2 more normal size cogwheels. And I think what we do is we... Is that faster? How did we make this faster? Oh, okay. So, like... Nope, I don't want that there. I can't reach. So like that. And then... like that. And is that fast enough? Let's go grab some of the shafts. Yes, horsey. So if we get a shaft, put it there. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Mixer. Basin. We need to grab some water. And hopefully I can figure out how this stuff works a little bit better in the future. I know the whole speed thing is important, and I know gear ratios is a thing. So let's see, does this work now? Oh, right, it needs... I can take the water out. Cool. Wish I would have realized that before. So it needs another, so that we can put this on the side. And it is overstressed. Alright, so this is where the other water wheel would be better. So I'll tell you guys what. Let's go ahead and make the alloy kiln. And we can finish that quest off. So to make the alloy kiln the actual thing, just put it right here. We just put it in a 2x2, hit it with a hammer, and there we go. So I put copper in this and zinc, and I should get brass. Now what's the ratio? I don't know. It is a 1-to-1 to get... It is... Okay, 1-to-1 to get 2. I'll have to do calculations on how many of those we're going to need. But I should have a bunch of coal somewhere. And we should be able to start making brass. Perfect. Okay, so I am going to do a little bit of finagling so that we can put a large thing there, a large water wheel. And then hopefully, because I don't know if this will fit, we need to break that. And then if we have like that, I mean, I guess we could just immediately do it, maybe? Not enough speed. So that is something I'm going to have to play around with. Okay. So let's break that for now. I'm going to clean things up, and we will come back in a moment once I am ready to make some soul sand. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I figured a pretty basic solution, if my fingers were on the right keys. Figured out a pretty basic solution. I didn't actually change anything here. I will do that later. I want to kind of probably expand this room a little bit and start working on making things a little bit nicer. I kind of know a little bit more about what I'm doing. I can make more stuff. And so I think that's what we're going to do between episodes is I'm going to work on just trying to make a couple of factory lines for things. I like this concept, and we can always make it shorter because it doesn't really need to be, this needs to be that long, but this part is fine. So all I did was I broke this shaft so that these are the only things on here. So let's see if this is fast enough to make us some soul sand, and it is. Perfect. Now, I've also got the brass cooking, and this is all the brass we're going to need. We're going to need 7 recipes worth of, well, things. And I don't believe that we can we just, no, it does have to be stripped wood. I wasn't sure on that. I wanted to test it, but we can make brass casings and pick those up, and that is what we need for the mechanical crafters. A couple notes about the large water wheel and water wheels in general. So first of all, this does give a lot more stress capacity, so it can handle a lot more stress than the smaller water wheel, but it does move at half the speed. So things that require speed are going to be, it did not make, that was, oh no, that's rude. This is good stuff, but not what I was after. Okay, that's fine. We can just do another. The horse is gone. It decided to leave, I guess. It left us some leather, which was nice, but it just left. But yeah, so water wheels, the larger water wheels give more stress, but they require more, they are less speed for more stress. On the other hand, the smaller water wheels are faster, don't give as much stress. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to do while I'm doing things. It's a lot harder than it might seem sometimes. So the other thing that I wanted to mention is that the water wheels can actually be stacked to give more generation of power stuff, I guess. Okay, so I definitely messed something up by clicking the filter. Let's just break that. I'll go grab some more water. It's not even where it goes. And then we'll figure this out at some point. So yeah, we can put, you know, I think it's up to 3 water wheels in a line, and it will do better, create more kinetic energy. And so that is something that we'll look into at some point, I'm sure. So yeah, it was the filter, and I don't know how to get rid of that. So let's grab that. we can get our first little bit of soul sand, and then we can duplicate it. So in order to duplicate soul sand, we are going to pick up this water, and we are going to need some sort of fire starter, but I can't do it here. Never mind. So the water works just fine. We'll just leave that there. So in order to get the soul sand duplication, we need to do bulk haunting, which basically requires us to have soul fire on the other side of a fan, and that gives us more soul sand in exchange for sand. There is a few other recipes that we can do with that, and so what I think we're gonna do is I might make another fan and do that just kind of on the side as needed, because for the most part we're not gonna need to do that. I mean, soul sand is super useful, but it's not the most important thing for us. We're gonna need a lot of quartz, so that's about the only reason that we're gonna want it. So if we can get a soul fire here, I guess we'd have to put soul sand there and then have soul fire there. Let's actually, I think we can do that briefly at least. It would not be automatic, but we can do soul sand here, and then grab, let's say, I don't know if we have any fire starters. That creates lava, so we're gonna need a flint and steel. Do we even have any flint? I also, by the way, got a common loot crate from some guys. Music disc. Okay. I think the slimes gave it to us, but I don't remember. So we're going to take a stack. We do have flint. Let's make a flint and steel. And so now that is haunting. We throw the sand here, and it will eventually be turned into soul sand. So this doesn't have to be automatic or anything. It works just fine as is. And I can close this back up for when we want to do water there. So it does take some time, but it will get there, and we'll have more soul sand. So this episode has been a little bit strange. We haven't got much done, to be perfectly honest, and it's been a lot of me talking, but there is a stack of soul sand, which then we can wash to get Nether Quartz, and that's what we want to do. So I might make just a basic setup of this where it's not automatic, and might try to figure out a way. I think you can do filters. I don't know if there's got to be filters for items so that we can basically say only the list filter matches items attribute filter. Okay, so I believe the brass funnels move more items. Can extract a full stack. Direction of transfer using, okay, so we might be able to use mechanical arms for stuff like this. I don't know. There's bound to be ways that we can put an item on the ground and then pick it up when it becomes soul sand. So that is something that we're going to look into at some point, rather than using a conveyor belt. But we could use a conveyor belt as well. So we'll figure something out. Anyways, this episode's been me talking a lot, and I'm going to stop talking now. We have soul sand, which means we can get Nether Quartz, which means that we can work towards the mechanical crafters. This polished rose quartz is going to require a ton of redstone, we need pretty much a stack of redstone because we're going to need 7 recipes worth, and we actually almost have that. But I'm going to need to get more redstone and whatnot. So let's get our rewards. That is an energy frame thing. We have the mechanical mixer. Pipes, that's kind of nice. That also completed a part of a reward. I don't know. Miscellaneous? Alright, so if we make a pipe wrench, then we'll get that one. And then we made the alloy kiln. And we got some ancient debris. Cool. So, at this point, at some point we're going to need to get some chickens. That is going to be important. And start with chicken stuff. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of drawers and get a drawer system set up. Start moving inventory in there. And I'm going to do some work with all this stuff to make things a little bit nicer. And next time, I hope I will have enough quartz and all that kind of fun stuff so that we can make the mechanical crafters, so that we can make the crushing wheels, so that we can get more resources. So that is the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!